After having a very successful first season in the Journeyman save at Fredrikstad, it is time to switch clubs. However, we'll just go through what exactly we did at Fredrikstad. We of course finished 5th in the league, which I will absolutely take, considering on paper we were not one of the strongest teams in Norway, and we were actually not far away from the title either. In the Norwegian Cup, we of course won that, beating Rosenborg in the final. We knocked out Strømsgodset in the first round. In the quarterfinal, we were up against Lillestrøm, where we won 1-0. We of course won 3-0 against HamKam, and in the final we beat Rosenborg 3-2, so we won our first trophy of the Journeyman save. And this was our starting 11. We had some very good players who did well. Our summer transfer Bungård was absolutely immense for us. Players like Voledzi were fantastic. Jonathan Fisher in it, absolutely brilliant. And we also had some decent midfielder, Bjørlo for example, who delivered a very solid season. And here we are at our brand new team. We are joining DC United, who are one of, if not the worst team in MLS at this moment in time. And we can see we have taken over the worst team in MLS. DC United finished on just 28 points. And that was the worst out of every team in the Eastern Conference. And when we take a look at the Western Conference as well, Colorado Rapids, who finished last year, got 32 points. So we have officially taken over the worst team in MLS. So here we can see DC United finished, of course, 15th in the league. They came to the semifinals of the US Open, which is pretty alright to be fair, so they aren't useless. The team definitely has some decent potential that we hopefully can find. The board wants us to reach the playoff quarterfinals and also reach the round of 16 in the US Open Cup. And I do feel like maybe reaching the playoff quarterfinals can be a bit difficult, considering we finished last in the league. However, I have some good plans for players and I want to sign, and place I want to take this team. I want to focus on former or current in real life players from the Premier League, which I think suits DC United pretty well. This is how the team is looking, and we can see there are a lot of players we have to make some improvements on. We have just 64 rated striker, 63 rated striker, 60 and 65 rated central midfielders. So a big job is needed, but thankfully we have a pretty solid budget at the team as well. So I do believe we can sign 2, 3, maybe even 4 quality players that can improve our starting 11. We have only made one sale going into the first transfer window here at DC United, and it is Matti Peltola, who has gone to Turkey for 2.8 million. Yes, he is a good player, however he doesn't really fit the system we want to play, as we want to play the 4-4-2 with 2 central midfielders, and he didn't want to become a central midfielder in what I do believe was 4 or even 5 years. So therefore we had to sell the young Finnish player. But looking at the squad, we have a couple of weak positions. We are in need of 2 strikers and 2 central midfielders at minimum. However, I will only sign 1 striker and 2 central midfielders, as I do hope Merle here can grow into a somewhat decent player. But let's bring in the new players and see how they will do in our new squad. And we're starting off the transfer window with a bang. We are signing former or current Norwich player until we sign him. He has played in the Premier League. It is of course the American striker Josh Sargent, who has joined us for 11.5 million euros. We've gone for another player from the USA. This time it is a talented central midfielder. He has played for Inter Miami before. In this save he has moved to Havre, but he's moving back to MLS. It is of course Benjamin Kremashki, our third and final signing to DC United in our first transfer window. It is a Premier League player, or previous Premier League player, who has played for Manchester United, and as you can see it is Fred. We've signed him from Fenerbahce for 21 million euros. And with the 3 signings, our squad are looking much better right now. Yes, we have some weaker rated players such as Merle. I hope he will develop pretty alright in the season, and we are of course going to look to sign someone in the summer transfer window as well. However, this is the team I want to test out. I want to see which positions we maybe need to look for in the next transfer window. We of course signed Josh Sargent, previous Norwich player in the Premier League, 24 years old, 76 rated, and from the United States, a brilliant signing. Kremashki is a more talented younger player, 70 rated but just 19 years old, and I do believe he will form a wonderful partnership with Fred, who is 31 years old, so he's on the older side. However, his stats are absolutely phenomenal. He is 31 years old but 81 rated, so a very fun looking trio we have signed here, and I'm excited to see how they will do. And I don't really know exactly what to expect from this season. It would be nice to finish around maybe 8th place in the league. I do believe we qualify for the knockout stages, or whatever you want to call the playoff. Yeah, let's just call it playoff stages in the MLS. So if we can get to that, I will be very happy with the season. But let's get cracked on with the games. Can we start the MLS season off with 3 points? No, we cannot. We lose 2-1 to New England. We are looking to bounce back against New York City, and it's another 2-1 loss. Next up, it is LAFC, and we lose 2-1 for the 3rd time in a row. And I don't really think we could have had any worse start to the league. We are last, just as DC United finished last season. We have lost 3 games. We lost all of them 2-1. So at least we are scoring some goals, but we are conceding 2 goals per game, which isn't ideal when we are wanting to get some points. However, we have Inter Miami up next, who are, where are they? They are 11th place, so they have just picked up 1 point from their first 2 games. So let's bounce back with a win against Inter Miami. We are of course going to use our strongest starting 11, and I do feel like the team is better than what it has shown. So hopefully we can pick up at least 1 point against Inter Miami. Ideally we want to get all 3. Hopefully the 3 signings are good. I do believe Sargent will score a lot of goals for us. Fred and Kremashki, hopefully they can boss the midfield. Come on! And Inter Miami are trying to get the first attack. It looks like they have kept a lot of their strongest players. I've already seen Jordi Alba and Luis Suarez. Thankfully, their number 11 skies the shot. I can see Luis Suarez is here. Same is Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, and it seems like Lionel Messi. Yeah, he is on the bench. So Messi starts on the bench for Inter Miami. Finds Kremashi with a perfect through ball to Josh Sargent. And can Josh Sargent do it? He cannot. It's a good save by Calendar. And now Inter Miami are looking for the counter-attack. It is Fafa on the ball. Fafa, what can he do? He finds Agemang. I'm sorry for the name pronunciation. Back to Fafa. Fafa, back to their number 11. Their number 11 finds Luis Suarez. But a good save by our goalkeeper, Fred. With a perfect ball to Pirani. He doesn't have the pace, it seems like. Josh Sargent makes the run. Josh Sargent, he is offside unfortunately. Oh, that's a perfect ball by Fred to Murrell. And this time we score. Our 64 rated striker scores our first goal when we are playing a game for DC United. And it's a wonderful finish and a perfect ball by Fred. And can we score 2 straight here? Inter Miami are just giving us the ball. Josh Sargent, but Sailor makes the interception. Kremashi runs well with the ball. Can he just go for it himself against his former side? Kremashi against his former side, and it's just wide. That's a perfect ball. Murrell again. This time he finds Sargent. Josh Sargent makes it to DC United against Inter Miami, and we are finally showing what kind of team we really are. And Fafa are looking for an equalize or a consolation goal. Inter Miami here keeping the pressure on. Messi is now on. He can't do anything. We are messing around with our goalkeeper, Kim Yoon-hong. But thankfully, Suarez's shot gets kind of saved or blocked by our goalkeeper, whatever you want to say. But we can't give Inter Miami any goals. And Fred with an interesting clearance. He tries to get past Fred, and he do so by getting a free kick. Hopefully they can't create anything from the free kick, because we of course know what it's Suarez actually was taking the free kick. They are trying something interesting here. They are trying something very interesting here. But Barlett with the clearance. Gabriel Pirani finds Murrell. Murrell, who's already got a goal today, finds Josh Sargent. Sargent with the through ball to Barayas. Barayas, no, he doesn't. He actually misses the target completely. Gabriel Pirani finds Josh Sargent once again. He doesn't have the pace, but he keeps the ball well here. Josh Sargent, the shot is saved, but Barayas scores with the last kick of the game, and DC United have won 3-0 against Inter Miami. And hopefully the win against Inter Miami can make us go on some sort of a decent form, because 3 losses in the first 3 games is just unacceptable. We need to build on a decent and very good win actually against Inter Miami. Can we make it 2 wins in a row here? It is against LA Galaxy. it's a draw, which is alright. Next up, it is Toronto FC away from home, and we win 2-1. Next up, it is Austin FC in the US Open Cup, and we are out of the cup already. After going 3 games in a row unbeaten in the league, we are now up to 9th place, having picked up 7 points. So we are in a decent form, hopefully that can continue in our next game against Atlanta United. We have a home game against Atlanta United. Hopefully we can stay unbeaten and ideally pick up 3 new points. And I've got to say, I'm really enjoying the way this team plays. We have some very interesting players, such as Kremashi, of course, in the middle. Sargent has done well. Fred has been absolutely brilliant since we signed him. And also our right midfielder Barayas feels very nicely in game. I've only played 1 game and 10 minutes. However, I am a big fan of how the team is currently looking, and we can look to get a goal here by Barayas, but it's just wide. Gabriel Pirani. What can our Brazilian winger do? He runs well with the ball. Barayas makes the run. Barayas, he finds just Sargent in the middle. Sargent, the shot is saved. And now Atalanta are getting a chance themselves. However, they are just giving Rolls the ball. Mosquera now runs with the ball for Atalanta, and it looks like he is faster than our center backs. Mosquera, he goes into the field. He still keeps the ball. He does some random things. He passes it back to Klitsch, the former Leeds United player, back to Mosquera. Mosquera finds Miranchuk, and Atalanta have taken the lead with a goal from Miranchuk. And we are looking to bounce back straight away here. Pirani with a wonderful cross. We can't get a header on it. Sargent. No, Fred. He tries to shot Fred, but it's straight at Cohen. Barayas wins this. Can we find someone in the middle? He can't, and that is a wasted chance. And Kramashi with a big interception. It makes us get an attack. It's Merrill. Merrill. He tries to finesse, and Merrill makes it 1-1 right before halftime. And Kramashi wins that ball perfectly, and Merrill makes no mistakes in front of the net. Mosquera, he finds Cobb. Cobb tries the shot. Kim Yeon-hong with a big save. The attack is thankfully over. Got the good ball control here, and he shows that Fred, can he get past everyone? He still keeps it. He finds Merrill. Merrill looking for his brace. Merrill, and he finds the back of the net once again. And brace from our number 17, Merrill. Sarah down the right for Atalanta. They are looking to find the equalizer, but with passes like that, you will never get in front of the goal. But they keep the ball well, and this one should be safely cleared by us. Just get it away, there we go. And Merrill wins the ball. Can he find Sargent, who makes the run? He keeps the ball himself here, Merrill. Merrill finds Gabriel Pirani. What can our number 10 do? He gets past their defenders. We are just keeping the ball nicely here. Karmashi, he finds Barayas. Barayas to Merrill, who are looking for his hat-trick. He tries the shot, and it hits both of the post. He's so close. He couldn't be any closer to his hat-trick. We are not giving up. We are looking for goal number 3. The cross is cleared by Gregersen. Krameshi wins the ball. Sargent to Fred. Fred with the shot. Fred just wide. Atalanta has the potential to get one last chance here. It would be a shame if we decide to concede now. Sarah takes the ball into the box. It is the shot by Lattelaf, and Atalanta score a last minute equalizer to steal 2 of our points away, and it looks like it will be a draw, and we were just seconds away from a win in the MLS game. However, we have to settle for a 2-2 draw. So we are still at 9th place with that draw against Atalanta, and if we would have won it, we would have been 7th, even above Atalanta. So it's a shame that we didn't win it. However, we are now unbeaten in the last 4 league games, which I absolutely take. And we can see Jacob Merrill has enjoyed a wonderful start to his season, getting 5 goals and 1 assist in just 7 games, despite being just 64 rated. Barayas has scored 2 goals, same with Josh Sargent. Peglow as well, who has played for as the left midfielder for our team, has scored 2 goals. So Mr. Gabriel, what's his name again, Pirani, he has not played too much. 4 games, 0 goals and 0 assists. And Benjamin Kremashi has got 2 assists in just 5 games, which is pretty alright. And Fred has got 3 assists, so it's definitely some positive signs in this team. However, I would like to see Josh Sargent gets more involved in front of the goal. Can we bounce back with a win against New England? We can. We win 2-0. Up next, it is Columbus Crew, and the games finished 2-2. Can our unbeaten streak continue against Charlotte FC? It cannot. It ends after a 2-1 loss. Nashville at home is up next, and we are back on winning ways. And we have found some decent form. However, we are still stuck around 8th place. We have climbed one position from 9th up to 8th, but we are still a couple of points behind the teams above us. So it would be nice with a win against New York City, and if we win so, we will actually be above them on the table. So it's a big game in order to get into the top 8 and not just stay in 8th. And Sargent has scored 2 more goals. He's now up to 4. Merrill has just scored 1 goal in his last 4 games, I do believe it is. Kremashi has now 2 goals and 3 assists in just 9 games, so he is having a pretty solid season. And apart from that, no one has really scored. How is the assist looking? Fred has got 5 assists, so I'm very happy with Fred so far. Let's see if we can win against Manchester City affiliated team New York City. Martinez now on the attack. Martinez, can he send New York in the lead? But it's a fantastic tackle by Barlett, and Schnegg wins the ball, and that is exactly the type of defending we want to see here at DC United. Fred now on the ball. He looks for Josh Sargent. Can the ball find our striker? It cannot. It's a good attempt from our Brazilian midfielder. Kremashi looks to find Merle. It's a good ball by Kremashi and Merle, but Frese saves it. Unfortunately, the shot from our striker is not good enough. Martinez. It's still not a goal been scored in this game. Martinez are looking to change that, but it's straight at Hong. Martinez, he is causing problems for us. He tries the shot and he hits the post, and New York City are just a couple of centimeters away from scoring a potential winner in this goalless game so far. And now we have to create something. We have not created any proper chances in a while, but now Josh Sargent, and now we hit the post. New York City just hit the post a couple of seconds ago, and we go up down the red end and do exactly the same. Gabriel Pirani looks for the cross. He can find Sargent in the middle. Sargent, but the header is saved, and it's a pretty good save also by their goalkeeper. And New York City are looking for a late chance here. Martinez, who has been very good for them in the second half. Martinez against... He wins it again, actually. We can't even get the ball. He keeps the ball well here. We try to tackle, we win it, and that should be game over. The points are shared against New York City. And that draw sees us now having 4 wins, 4 draws and 4 losses in 12 games, and we are still at 8th place. And can we bounce back with a win against the Earthquakes? We cannot. It's another 0-0 draw. Chicago Fire is up next away from home, and we lose 2-1. It's time for us to pick all 3 points up against. Can we do so against Philadelphia? Yes, we can. Toronto is our next game at home, and we lose 2-1 once again. Our last game of the episode is against Minnesota United, and we end on a 2-2 draw. We can see by the team we have seen some alright growth in some players. Kremashi is now up to 72. Fred has gone up a rating as well. Sargent is up to 77. I do believe Schnegg and Pirani has both gone up by 1 rating. Barajas has grown by 2, which is very good for our young Mexican talent. And also Kim Yoon-hong in net has gone up 2 ratings, and he is a very exciting goalkeeper actually. Just 22 years old and already 73, so I have big hopes for his future at the club. But we can see we are struggling to score some goals. Merrill has scored 6, he's been stuck on that number for a while now. Josh Sargent has only scored 5. I expected more from him. Barajas has got 5 goal contributions in 16 games, which is alright. Our backup striker Baji has scored 3 goals in 11. Kremashi has still only got 5 goal contributions, so he hasn't got one in his last 6 games. And I expect more from Gabriel Pirani as well. And Fred has got 5 assists. I would have liked to see him get some goals as well. But yeah, it's clear that we are still far away from a perfect team. However, Jacob Merrill has gone up by 2 ratings, which is solid to see. And after a half-played league, we are now in 10th position. 5 wins, 6 draws and 6 losses in 17 games. We scored 24 goals, which is on paper pretty alright. Above average, I would say. But we conceded 21. I would like to see one of those numbers, either the goal scored going up or goals conceded going down in the second half of the season. I'm pretty content with the place we are currently with the team, considering we took over the worst team in MLS. We can see we have got 21 points, and when we take a look at the Western Conference, we would have been 10th, 9th place in this league as well. So we have now become a mid-table type of team, lower mid-table type, so I'm pretty content with that. But that is it for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will talk to you guys next time.